Hello all you loyal MFers and welcome back to part 2 of Bulletproof. It is Steel Cage-a-mania, Steel Cage-a-palooza, Steel Cage-a-roo. Because we have not one, but 2 Steel Cage matches for the championships. We have first up, as you can see, making their way to the ring, the Outlaws, Red Hood and Arsenal, who will challenge for the Earth's mightiest tag team titles against Crossbones and Taskmaster of HYDRA. And they will do so inside the confines of that unforgiving steel cage. But they will not be the last to utilize that structure. Because following, speaking of Red Hood, somebody who has been a protege to the man that I'm about to mention, and who may be an alternate universe identity of the challenger standing across from him in that same match, we will have a steel cage match between Arkham Knight and Batman, Bruce Wayne, defending the Omega level championship in a steel cage. And then, of course, we'll have our main event. They can't all be steel cage matches, but that one will be no disqualifications, and that is Victor Von Doom, aka Dr. Doom, taking on Thor, who will defend his Multiversal Championship. But let's get back to tag team action here. HYDRA versus the Outlaws in a steel cage for the Earth's mightiest tag team titles. Now this came about because we had 2 teams contending for those championships. The Heroes for Hire team of Luke Cage and Iron Fist had a rightful claim to a rematch based on a controversial finish to their match at Flashpoint with HYDRA, in which Red Skull got involved and a triple powerbomb maneuver that allowed them to pick up the win. Referee being lenient. We have slightly more lenient rules here at MFW. We understand the chaotic nature of our competitors and what they're capable of. Can't be ringing the bell left and right for all sorts of things these guys do. But we do need a structure. And director of Fight Night, Nick Fury, who was named in that inaugural episode by defeating Red Skull, he made a decision once his power came into play on the Fight Night after Flashpoint, and he punished Red Skull by having him face Heroes for Hire in a handicap match. If Heroes for Hire won, they would be granted their rematch. They were successful. On that same night, Crossbones and Taskmaster would face Red Hood and Arsenal in tag team action. If they were to lose that matchup, they would also be facing Red Hood and Arsenal for the titles. It would become effectively a triple threat tag team matchup. Red Hood and Arsenal were victorious, therefore earning themselves a shot. And then Red Skull challenged Nick Fury. Singles competition. If you beat me, you have to drop one. I have to be banned from ringside. If I beat you, you drop one of those 2 teams. Red Skull was victorious, albeit through shenanigans, with Crossbones and Taskmaster assisting yet again in a triple powerbomb maneuver. But Fury, true to his word, created a match between Heroes for Hire and the Outlaws. The winner would face Crossbones and Taskmaster here tonight for the titles. Red Hood and Arsenal were victorious. They were granted this shot. And Nick Fury, in his infinite wisdom and that crafty brain of his, couldn't ban Red Skull from ringside because of the stipulation of their singles match. However, he could keep him from getting into the ring by making this a steel cage match. And that is how we found ourselves here tonight with this tag team title match on the line in a steel cage. That was the Cliff's Notes, if you will. Maybe not short and sweet, but you get the gist. As these 2 men look to defend against seemingly surmounted odds placed on their shoulders. Our referee there showing you what's on the line, hefting those belts overhead as the cage is lowered. It's an interesting situation. Oh! Big European uppercut and a flying forearm from Taskmaster. Oh! Lion Salt. It's going to be a lot to follow. All 4 men in the ring at the same time. And thus far, it seems like the Outlaws have the advantage. They came in with a game plan, clearly prepared for this kind of a situation. Might have even known ahead of time that this was going to be a steel cage match. I wouldn't put it past Fury to inform them. as Arsenal already climbing towards the top of that cage, but it might be a little too soon for that. Oh, and a chop block. Red Hood takes Crossbones out, not allowing him to reach Arsenal, but Taskmaster still makes it in time to stop the ascent. Oh, and another spinning European uppercut. He's already hit that move quite a few times, favoring it to floor the larger opponent, Crossbones. Mercenary now hung up on the ropes. Armored knee pad into the helmeted face. Taskmaster growing more and more effective as he watches the moves of his opponents, which is part of his tried and true ability. Not something that could be taken away, even with the power denters in the arena, just that natural photographic reflex of his. Oh! Dodging a move that Red Hood's used quite a bit this time, starting to learn his enemy's offense very well. And now suddenly HYDRA standing tall while the Outlaws are laid out. And just like that, the Outlaws turn things around. Big facebuster. That double underhook facebuster. And a knockout blow from Arsenal to the back of the head. Such a capable striking unit is the Outlaws. You can see it in their offense. Oh, wait a minute. Point blank shot! Knee across the face of Taskmaster. That could be it. Somehow fighting out of it, though. I mean, if that were me, if I'm Red Hood, I hit that point blank shot, I'd go right to ascending the cage. You don't leave them an opportunity to reverse you like that. Big springboard dropkick. Oh! Caught his partner on the way. I don't think Red Hood meant to do that, but going for that spinning European uppercut again, it looked like his knee clipped the jaw, maybe the chin, of Arsenal, took him down on the way, and that could cost the Outlaws here. All that time, Arsenal could have been intercepting Crossbones, keeping him from allowing Red Hood, or from denying Red Hood exit of the cage. Instead, Crossbones able to single-handedly bring them both back into this match. Oh, and a big spinning kick similar to the kinetic kick of Gambit. Obviously, we know Taskmaster, maybe not to the same strength. Red arrow off the top turnbuckle. As we were saying, though, Taskmaster able to replicate finishing maneuvers of other superstars, just not able to wield them with the same necessarily effective damage as an explosive fist clocks Arsenal. And now, Crossbones climbing the cage. What makes a situation like this so different from what we'll see later, that singles steel cage matches, that there's always the possibility your opponent's partner can intercept your attempt to leave the cage. All four of these men need to have eyes on the back of their head with a situation like that. Red Hood has his opponent on the top turnbuckle here, but for some reason not taking advantage of it, perhaps waited too long on that one. Oh, and now we're seeing it again. Point blank shot! Knee to the face as he lays out Crossbones. Once again, not sure why he continues to use more offense when he could have just immediately started climbing the cage, but regardless, Taskmaster now slamming the legs of Red Hood into that cage. Oh, wait a minute. Spinning maneuver here. That sort of inverted facebuster. I'm not sure what to call that maneuver. I will certainly not call it Salida del Sol, because this man is not a luchador. Oh! Big impacts from Arsenal as he starts to make a comeback here against Crossbones. Another jumping shot, though, from Taskmaster. Just high impact offense from all four members of this match. Arsenal, you could see the labored movements, clearly exhausted, has used a lot of energy thus far. Got to think none of the men in this match exactly spring chickens exactly fresh after how much effort they've put into this. Oh, and now Taskmaster, only man standing as the other two crawl for the ropes, dragging themselves to their feet. Oh, and a big jumping shot of his own. Arsenal turning the tables on Taskmaster with one of his own moves. Perhaps Taskmaster borrowed that move from someone else. Can't say for sure. Oh, and a jumping shot, but this one busts open Arsenal. Roy Harper bleeding as Crossbones makes his way to the top of the cage. Arsenal sidesteps, and now there's an opportunity to drag Crossbones back into the ring. Arsenal fighting. Red Hood too focused on Crossbones though, and Taskmaster's climbing the other end of the cage. Red Hood seems to be frozen. He's not moving, not pursuing. I don't understand this line of thinking. Hydra's about to win this. Both men are about to escape the cage. Arsenal's down. Crossbones has touched the floor. Taskmaster is well beyond the reach of the Outlaws, and now Red Hood decides to move, but the hesitation far too late. Hydra defends. Crossbones and Taskmaster somehow manage to pull out the victory. They're the first of the Bulletproof pay-per-view defending champions to do so successfully. Hydra walks out still Earth's mightiest tag team champions. Got to question exactly what was going through the mind of Jason Todd to allow that to happen. Perhaps he didn't see Taskmaster behind him and was unaware of the exact urgency of the situation. You saw him climb much later, perhaps thinking there was still plenty of time to do so. Unaware that Taskmaster was almost out as it was. Regardless, perhaps a rookie mistake, a foolish error, and Hydra defends their tag team titles. But we move on. More steel cage match action. You can go ahead and lift that cage, but don't take it all the way up because we're going to bring it right back down as two men go at it for the Omega Level Championship. Speaking of Jason Todd, could be one of the identities of this mysterious Arkham Knight as he attempts to claim what Bruce Wayne holds as his current most prized possession, that top title of the Fight Night brand. Obviously, we've seen this particular feud bubble up, bubble over, and completely explode between Batman and Arkham Knight. It started with an assault from Arkham Knight after Bruce Wayne's first ever matchup. Damian Wayne, of course, at ringside was able to help repel Arkham Knight, but since then, we've seen repeated attacks towards Arkham Knight from Batman in retaliation. Both times he was supposed to have a match with Deathstroke, the man who was facing Batman in that aforementioned match, trying to prove his superiority, only to end up losing those matches after vicious attacks from the Dark Knight beforehand, leaving him injured and not nearly at 100% to face an opponent as dangerous as Slade Wilson. But now, fresh, 100% here tonight, will be locked inside a steel cage with the Dark Knight, with Batman, Bruce Wayne, and with a chance at the Omega Level Championship within his grasp. The question is, can he capitalize on that opportunity, or will the repeated attacks of Batman have really already done their damage, gotten under the skin, and perhaps not just physically, but mentally put Arkham Knight at the disadvantage going in against the defending champion? We've already seen the streak of titles changing hands broken. Will Bruce Wayne continue this new trend of defending the championship? Obviously, Damian Wayne not here tonight. The steel cage will keep others out of this outcome. Whoever wins here tonight, it will be definitive. As we mentioned, a different dynamic than what we just saw with tag team action, where even within the confines of the steel cage, there are other elements you have to be aware of. As we saw Red Hood not with eyes in the back of his head, not able to see that the partner of the man who had just escaped the cage, was also well on his way to escaping. Had he been able to realize that, perhaps he would have done things differently, but too little too late. Here, at the end of the day, it's just these two men within those steel confines, which means whoever wins this match, it should be a very decisive, definitive finish. And with the title on the line, gotta think Bruce Wayne came in with a game plan, as he always does. There's no way he's flying off the seat of his pants. He knew what this match was going to be, and you can be sure shooting that Bruce Wayne came in ready with not just a plan, but a backup plan, and a backup plan to the backup plan. He wouldn't be our Omega level champion if he didn't, obviously, defeating Darkseid to win that title. No bigger threat, arguably, on the Fight Night roster. And you don't win that kind of a match off sheer luck. Well, let's get ready to decide our top Fight Night champion. There's your challenger. Could be Jason Todd, could be another mysterious figure. There is an Arkham Knight of the Arkhamverse, and there is an Arkham Knight of the comics. Could be either one, we don't know. But no matter which one it is, clearly dangerous, clearly knows his opponent well. And that opponent, as you see standing across from him in the ring, is the Omega level champion, Bruce Wayne, who looks absolutely calm and determined to defend that championship. You can see the way he carries himself, the way he holds that title up. He has no intention of losing this match or even allowing the possibility of defeat. That's the kind of man Batman is, but will it prove to be the case? That's what we're about to find out. Remember to hit that like button if you're enjoying what you're seeing so far, to comment and let us know what you think, what matches you want to see from our bevy of superstars from across the multiverse, and remember to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss a single moment of new MFW action as the capture suplex kicks us off big. Batman not going for any wrist locks or headlocks. He's going straight for the big offense. And now, ooh, a twisting neck breaker. German suplex from Batman. The first three big moves, and we've already seen some huge... Oh, and another release German suplex. So far, Batman has just been absolutely dissecting his opponent. Capture suplex, German suplex, German suplex, now working the arm. Arkham Knight desperately fighting out of that submission there. Arkham Knight fighting back, knee into the ribs, and now stomping away at Bruce Wayne in the corner there, pressing the knee into the throat. May have just pissed off his opponent, but Batman went in hard from the start, and a dodge. And once again, all it takes is one moment for Bruce Wayne to take advantage and turn things around. Deadlift, powerbomb. Oh, the head looked like it bounced off that top rope in the process. Already climbing, but oh, elbow to the lower spine. Could have continued to try and escape the cage, but instead went straight for the lower back, and now continuing to work the back with the camel clutch. As we said, clearly Batman came in with a game plan, working the weak points he finds. Anytime there's a big high impact move, so the multiple German suplexes, then the elbow to the lower back, then the wrenching it with the camel clutch, clearly working the spine. Arkham Knight, though, not gonna let that go without retaliating. Big arm drag monkey flip. And now the kicks to the face. Climbing, could take advantage of this brief moment. But there might be a little bit of desperation in this. Not a huge move to keep down the Dark Knight before he immediately tried to go back after him. Before he immediately tried to escape the cage, I should say. Oh! 3-blow combination. Vicious strikes. Arkham Knight now almost like an animal backed into the corner, just keeps assaulting, stomping, moonsault, just trying to keep that offense on Wayne to try and find an opening. Oh, and an elbow drop of his own, mirroring his perhaps former mentor, depending on who this man is. Oh! That wheel kick, that fainting heel kick. I believe he calls it the Lazarus kick, that karmic cycle roundhouse. But a big belly to belly, and suddenly Bruce Wayne climbing the cage, and the damage may have been done to the back of Arkham Knight because he is barely moving. That big belly to belly might have been enough. Already at the top of the cage, making his way out. I don't think Arkham Knight's going to make it in time. Climbing the cage, but it may not be enough. Can he make it in? No, it's too late. Bruce Wayne already climbing out of the cage, and your Omega level champion has just successfully defended. Congratulations to Batman, a big win, and as we suspected, came in with a plan and executed it to perfection. Bruce Wayne repeatedly working the back, and by the time Arkham Knight was mounting a counteroffensive, it was already too late. The damage was done. All they needed was one big move, and a big belly-to-belly suplex gave him enough time to climb out of that cage, and he has defended the Omega level championship. As you can see, a disappointed Arkham Knight in the corner of the ring, but the hero triumphant as we move on to our main event of Bulletproof for the Multiversal Championship. Let's not mince words here. There's been some frankly unfathomable alliances leading up to this point. Despite all the attacks, despite low blows, Loki and Thor had it out in singles competition and apparently made a deal, a fair matchup, a wager. Loki lost and has been supporting the current Multiversal Champion ever since. But he faces this man, Victor Von Doom, aka Dr. Doom. And if there is anyone more dangerous on the Warzone roster, I'm not sure I could find him. He has submitted multiple opponents with that iron grip of his, and he came so close to winning the Multiversal Championship in the first encounter between these two when it was a triple threat match alongside Superman. In the end, though, Thor came out victorious, walked away as champion. Doom returned after a brief hiatus, showing just as much dominance as he did before, and earned his way back into the title picture for a one-on-one opportunity. And he's ambitious, he's driven, he's focused, he's the kind of person you can't get past. You can't think past them, you can't look towards the future when he's in your way. You have to be in the present, you have to focus on an enemy this dangerous. And Thor has been perhaps a bit naive, aligning himself with Loki, trusting his brother despite everything that has gone on, despite Loki's brief alliance with Thanos, despite all of the actions leading up to this point. That being said, Loki has said he will not be at ringside. Thor asked him to stay out of this when he wants it to be a fair one-on-one contest, and I think that could be just as much of a mistake as it is a wise decision. If Loki is a traitor, you've just kept him away from the ring. Smart move. However, if he is actually an asset to you, if he is loyal, against someone as dangerous as Dr. Doom, you kind of want to have some backup. Then again, I'm not Thor. I can't make that decision for him as the Multiversal Champ makes his way to the ring right now. All I know is I wouldn't trust a man who was messing around with my junk, with my giblets, with my ding-ding. That's just personal. I've ranted on this before. I'll try not to do it again. But he has trusted him. He's made that decision. If you're going to do that, leaving him out of this very important matchup could be a mistake. Maybe that makes me sound like a hypocrite. Maybe I'm being a little overly critical. But I think that's a mistake. But we'll find out if it is, as Thor takes on Dr. Doom one-on-one. No disqualifications, as we mentioned. That means no holds barred. Anything goes. Whether or not any weapons or anything of the like will be brought into the equation, we don't know. We saw in the first half how that no disqualification came into play. Magneto brought in a baseball bat, but didn't even get to use it as he was floored by Hulk and then immediately speared. And that match ended far quicker than I think anyone expected. Granted, only because of the expectations that we'd built up until then, Magneto having been so successful, whereas Hulk was struggling due to attacks and various other factors. But that was kind of the old Hulk we expected, that dominant Hulk. Didn't even need a weapon to end that match. This, however, Hulk is one thing. Thor brings a hammer down to the ring. So anything can happen between these two. As we get ready to kick off here on the MFW network. Don't mind the logos. We have to share certain properties and arena stuff because we have a very low budget here. And that's fine. Okay? We blew all the money on the power dampeners. And paying most of these guys. It's not easy to get a roster this size. Arm and a leg. Perhaps literally. As we move on. It's not about my money woes. It's not about my fairly empty bank account at the moment. We are talking about the Multiversal Championship. Thor versus Dr. Doom one-on-one. Any man has the possibility to walk out with that championship around his waist by the end of the night. Both two of our top competitors on the Warzone roster. The question is, who will be the one to walk out as champion? There's the bell. And Doom takes the offense early with a neckbreaker and right into those iron-fisted punches to the face of Thor. Doom seemingly taking his time. Ooh, a big clothesline, but not enough to stagger the armored Dr. Doom as he goes right into a DDT and now stomping away at the face. Knee to the side of the head. You can see focusing very much on the head and neck, which, given the submission finisher that is the iron grip that we've seen from Dr. Doom, tells you right away he's looking to weaken that area of his opponent. Soften it up. If he can get that iron grip wrapped around the throat after doing a lot of damage, a lot of stomps, a lot of fists. Oh, deadlift, sit out, powerbomb. As Thor fights his way back into this, if he can do that kind of damage, Doom has a much better chance of walking away with the championship. And now that he doesn't have to worry about Superman as a third factor in this match, it makes it a very, very different situation for Von Doom. You can plan this match very differently. Less variables to account for. Thor fighting back, though. Oh, and a big clothesline. So far, Doom has been really dominant. I'm very surprised. Thor has been pretty dominant since winning the championship. Has shown himself to have very few issues with his opponents in the ring, even in tag team action. We've seen him quite a bit with Iron Man. Always fairly handily having the advantage over his opponents. But right now, Dr. Doom has been giving him a run for his money as he fights back this military press, bench pressing the immense weight of the armored individual that is Victor Von Doom. Brawling on the outside here, obviously no countouts, no disqualification, so this can stay on the outside for as long as they want. Still has to be decided in the ring, though. Oh, hoisting. That's right, I said hoist. Into a... Oh, Thor's hammer on the steps. You could hear the steps collide on the way down. The face and torso hitting those steps on the way down. You heard that impact, the metal on metal. And Thor now going to the top turnbuckle. Elbow drop. Saw that elbow drop from Superman before. Due in Lex Luthor, who was also an armored individual. So clearly it's a strategy that works. As Thor continues to press the offense. Big right fist. And it looks like Thor, ever since that Thor's hammer on the outside, has really taken control. We just got the sensors reading Victor Von Doom busted open underneath that metal face mask. Oh, but wait a minute. Big reversal here into a carry position. Scoop slam. And Doom seemingly confident that he's got this one now. Big back elbows. Thor tries to fight out of that corner, but... Oh, metal helmet into the jaw. These two now trading... Oh, he got his foot caught on the ropes. You saw that he got his foot caught on the bottom rope. Doom took advantage. DDT. You saw that Thor got his ankle caught on that bottom rope, went to lift up Doom. Doom took advantage, spun things around, DDT'd Thor, and now suddenly he's in control. Calling for it. Iron grip around the throat. This could be it. Will he submit? Will Thor give in? He's got it wrapped around the throat. Will Thor be able to resist? He resists somehow. Somehow manages to fight off Victor Von Doom. Doom getting frustrated, continuing the assault, going for a quick pin here. It's not going to be enough, I don't think. So close, 2.5, but not enough. Doom getting frustrated, but he's got to keep focused if he wants to become Multiversal Champion. You can't allow this to get to you. Big elbow drop now, just trying to take the wind out of the lungs of Thor. Take that power game away by making it harder to breathe. Ooh, Thor fighting out. Once again, slamming the back of the head. Again, focusing on the head and neck. When you have that choke finisher, doing damage to the head and neck, so very crucial. Now, deadlift, sit out, power bomb of his own from Victor Von Doom. Saw that earlier in the match from Thor. Into the quick pin. Is it going to be enough? Only a 2 count. We thought Thor had this match won after that Thor's hammer on the outside against the steel steps, but Doom has fought back into this, and now a second iron grip. Could this be it? Can he survive a second one? No, he can't. He is passed out, and we have a new Multiversal Champion. Victor Von Doom is victorious. And what does that mean for Warzone moving forward with Dr. Doom standing at the top of the mountain? Everybody, thank you once again for joining us for our second ever pay-per-view here at MFW. All you loyal MFers make me so proud, so happy. Love the shared nerd love we all have together whenever one of these big events gets to happen. Thank you for your support. I hope it continues because I would love to keep providing this for you. My name is Roman Empire. I'm your host, your MC, your commentator, and hopefully your friend. And I want you to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, or just enjoy the content because it means the world to me. Every view makes my heart a little bit happier. And remember, everyone out there, if you're having a bad day, if you need someone to talk to, or if you just need to smile, you just need to laugh, I hope that our videos can help put a little bit of a smile on your face at the end of a hard day. If there's a gray cloud out there, I hope we're your silver lining. And remember, you got people out there who love you. I just happen to be one of them.